Can you feel it, folks? The chill is in the air. It's October. No, I'm not talking about Halloween. I'm talking about playoff baseball. It's the only thing in this town that we actually win at. I know, we're not talking sports today. We're talking supernatural news. It's a Wednesday. I'm excited because we have some exciting stories for you today. We've got a full slate of great stories for you today. And so we got to get this party started. We got to get things rolling. To do so, we need a co-host. Let's bring in the co-host with the most, the BCB, the big cuddly bear himself, Beer City Bruiser. Bruiser, how you doing?
Oh, you got to mention playoff baseball. To make it supernatural, the ghost of the Brewers will be all over the playoffs. They were eliminated already. What? That's
really?
Brewer baseball.
Oh,
yeah, they're
no.
gone first round. They got swept by the Diamondbacks. So to make it supernatural, buddy, we'll say the ghost of the Brewers is haunting.
Oh, they're haunting this podcast. We're just, as we're taping this, we're just maybe not even an hour outside of the Minnesota Twins facing the Houston Astros in Game 3 of the ALDS, and right here at Target Field. And boy, I'll tell you, there's still a lot of steam going for that thing.
Yeah. Town's excited, huh?
Mm-hmm. The red Homer hankies are flying. It looks like someone's bled all over the place.
I told Mrs. Bruiser if they got past this first round, I'd get her tickets to the NLDS. You know?
Yeah.
And because that's what she's always wanted. And then they shit the bed.
Well, they ran into a bit of a buzzsaw. I told you.
Yeah, we were talking off air yesterday about it, and neither one of us expected it, but.
Yeah,
I agree with you. Arizona is going to the World Series.
Yeah, I think Arizona goes to the series, and I think Baltimore goes to the series. I think
I agree.
It's a long shot for the Twins to beat Houston, but if the Twins do beat Houston, they are running into a buzzsaw called the Baltimore Orioles, and I think
who are on fire right now.
Yeah,
their pitching staff. Oh.
Yeah. I just don't see anybody beating the Orioles this year, actually.
Shout out to Kevin Eck and Ken Dixon, two of the biggest Oriole fans I know.
There you go. Yep.
Kevin Eck used to be a writer for Ring of Honor, and we used to joke around because he's a big sports guy, but he loves all the teams that Malonis hated. So I got to sit there and listen to these two just go back and forth.
Yeah, well, you know what? That city of Baltimore has been suffering with the Orioles for so long. I mean, they haven't had a good team since the 70s.
No, they have. Well, maybe a little in the 80s when Cal Ripken was there.
Yeah.
But they never had this good of a team.
Right.
Have you ever been to Camden Yards, by the way? Amazing. It is beautiful. Anybody that's a sports fan, go there because they have not only the Orioles Hall of Fame there, but they have the Colts Hall of Fame from when they were the Baltimore Colts.
Oh, yeah.
They got like Johnny Unitas' uniform in there, Cal Ripken stuff. It's just and then the field itself.
Oh,
because I'm a sports fan, so I like going to different stadiums.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Me too. And
Mrs. Bruiser and I want to do every baseball and every football stadium. So we went to Camden Yards and walked around, and just gorgeous. It's an amazing field.
Yeah. I went to Coors Field when it first opened.
Okay.
Yeah. What a gorgeous field. That was something else. So, but yeah, it's fun to see those different venues, and especially the ones that are built to be a classic ball field. Yeah, you know, the ones that really have the sight lines and all that, and it's just kind of nice to spend a afternoon. Just kind of a nice, easy ball game. I think baseball is lost on a lot of people because they think, oh, it's boring, it's this, it's that, but they don't appreciate the nuances of baseball and just, you know, how leisurely the game is.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm a baseball fan, I'm a football fan, I'm a hockey fan. So doing the stadium tours, it's a fun, you know, and we try to find the worst teams going at the time because tickets are usually really cheap. Like this year we tried to get to a Cleveland game because they were Cincinnati. Okay. Because the Reds were just terrible.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it was the Reds versus, I think it was the Indians or the Guardians or whatever they are now.
Guardians.
Like, we should go. We should check the stadium out, and then we can. They're only a couple hours apart, and it never happened. But
well, that's too bad. That's too bad. Yeah.
But Lambeau Field is up there. That's one of those stadiums that you talk about.
Yep.
That was built to last.
Yep.
Soldier Field, which they're tearing down now.
Really?
Yeah, they got a new property. My son-in-law actually changed careers and will actually be working on the new stadium.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. He goes, "Too bad you're not a Bears fan." I said, "Why?" And he sent me a picture. I'm like, "Yeah, send that to Grandpa. Send it to Papa Bruiser. He's a Bears fan."
Yeah. And sometimes you can put those allegiances aside, even to see a stadium that you just to admire it. I mean, I went to the old Mile High Stadium in Denver just to see it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just to see it?
Yeah, just to see it. You almost have to just to take it in.
I saw Yankee Stadium.
Yes.
And that Mrs. Bruiser is on the list of stadiums I'm not allowed to go to because she hates the Yankees so much.
I saw.
And then I talked her into possibly going to Fenway because that's Malonis's team. He's a Red Sox fan.
Okay.
But Fenway's another one of those fields. You know what I mean? Where you think of baseball, you think of Fenway. You think of football, you think of Lambeau. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. I saw a game in old Yankee Stadium. I saw a Yankees-Angels game. So,
okay.
Yeah, and when I went back home with my stepdad, so yeah,
okay,
yeah, and that was something special. It really was.
Yeah.
So yeah, you almost have to. You have to take, and that's one of the things. And you're saying, well, how does this connect to anything paranormal or supernatural? It's simply this, and it's about living life, folks. It's taking advantage of the opportunities when you have the advantages there or the opportunities there. Because you don't know if it comes back around again. I mean, we have philosophies of, reincarnation. You're going to come back around anyways. But do you? Maybe this is your one shot, or maybe it's not.
And you might not remember. It might come back as a dream, or you know what I mean? None of us really, if we have past lives, only a select few of us get to relive those.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
And I've learned from traveling the world for a career, stop and smell the roses. Stop and look at, you know what I mean? Even if it's from afar. Mount Rushmore. I saw it from afar because we're in a car, but I made sure we pulled over, took some pictures, I didn't need to go in, and I know the history, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'd like to, but I know the history.
Yeah.
And the guys are like, why would we do that? And I said, because you never know. Never know. You know what I mean? We could get in an accident today, and that could be the end of it. Or you could break your leg today, and now you don't travel the world and wrestle. And now that I'm not traveling as much, I'm glad I took those few minutes to just kind of,
mm-hmm.
and now with the kids and stuff, they're at the age where, like the New Orleans trip, we didn't say no to anything. We tried everything because
that's good.
You only live once, like you said.
That's right. Yeah. And I guess to kind of put a nice cherry on top of that, it's one of those deals where, you are going to have regrets at the end of your life, but minimize those regrets.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I always tell people if you love somebody, tell them.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time I leave, I'll say I love you to people, and I don't care, because when we lost Jamin, that's when I realized I'm glad our last words involved the word "I love you." You know what I mean? Because that's how I felt.
Yeah. Yep.
And I don't ever want to leave it where if something happens to me or somebody else, that my last words with them weren't kind and they knew how I felt.
Yeah, exactly. Before we get started today, Bruiser, I'm going to ask our audience for a little bit of a cheat code here. I don't do this all that often, but if I could ask for prayer requests for two of my family members for today. My uncle is going into surgery today to have a kidney removed.
Oh,
it's kind of a big deal.
Is he donating it, or is it?
No, he has a tumor in that kidney.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're taking that kidney. So if you would send out some good energy and prayers to my Uncle Ron, who's having his kidney removed today, it's greatly appreciated. He is in White Bear Lake, Minnesota. So if you could do that, and my mother, Jackie. She is having some issues with AFib, and she's in Edina right now, in Edina, Minnesota. So if you could send her some energy, prayers, and good thoughts as well, and get her heart back in track, that'd be great as well. So, although her heart's in the right place, it's just skipping around a little bit and speeding up. So if we could just get it to slow down a little bit, that'd be great as well. So
she's not looking pictures of me, is she? That could make the heart flutter a bit.
Yeah, she's looking at you in your trunks. So I'm trying to encourage her to stop watching your matches. And to try and watch some cooking shows or something while she's in the hospital instead of the Title Match Network. That's for sure.
In my prayers. So.
Thank you so much. Big show today, Bruiser. We've got lots of stories here. We've got an unusual one. If you want to win some money, I got you to perk up a little bit.
Yeah, I like some money.
Win some money by submitting your Ring camera videos to the Ring Corporation of your caught UFO videos from your Ring camera. I'll have details for you in just a little bit. I
got a Ring camera, so...
I actually got this story from Uncle Bob.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, he sent it to me the other day. He said, take a look at this one. And I went, whoa. So, the Ring Video Camera Company is offering money in a contest to get your captured UFO videos from your Ring camera.
I have a Ring camera, but the only downside is we're in the flight path for the airport. So there's lots of lights in the sky.
I thought that was pretty interesting.
I did too.
Also, on today's show, we'll be tackling a cult. I'll tell you a little bit about an unusual cult that's out there. Also, a man who calls himself the living Nostradamus has claimed the Queen has an urgent warning for Harry from the afterlife. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
It's a cute little story. Why not? And we've also got an alleged sea monster sighting. We'll talk about that as well. And Ziggy's picks. Ziggy's on the rebound, folks. We'll tell you about it at the end of the show. So.
Yep, she's coming back.
And an interesting little way to end the show today. We'll talk about relationships and whether you're in the right one in a paranormal and supernatural sense.
Well, we just had that last week, had the lady divorcing her ghost husband, so.
But we're talking about in reality here, Bruiser. We're talking about
in reality.
Is your mate the right?
Not in reality, Tim.
That's right. Is your mate the right one? In other words, can you sit down and watch something on Netflix together? Are you compatible? And if you're not, what do you do about it?
All right.
There you go. That's how we're going to end today's show. But first, let's talk about NASA and Congress actually investigating 2,000 mysterious Maryland UFO sightings.
Maryland, huh?
Yeah, in Maryland. Okay. Nearly 2,000 people in Maryland have reported witnessing unexplained aerial events, commonly referred to as UFOs, over the past few years. The incident is cataloged by the National UFO Reporting Center and has sparked renewed interest and calls for further investigation. Witnesses described various shapes and characteristics, including circles, triangles, and fireballs. The government's acknowledgement of these phenomena and NASA's call for better data and study have added to the momentum. In a phenomena that continues to baffle residents, almost 2,000 people in Maryland have reported witnessing unexplained aerial events over the past few years, according to CBS News. These intriguing occurrences, again, UFOs, have now garnered fresh attention from the government, and experts are pushing for further investigation. The incidents totaling 1,923 reports.
Wow.
That's a lot out of a tiny state like Maryland.
Those the aliens really have a hankering from Jimmy's famous seafood crab cakes there, huh?
Oh, yeah, they do. But that's good stuff, I'm telling you.
What do you want to eat? Let's go to Maryland.
Let's go to Jimmy's. Have been cataloged by the National UFO Reporting Center, sparking a renewed interest in these unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs. Witnesses describe a variety of shapes and characteristics. Like we said, circles, ovals, triangles, and diamonds. It sounds like the Lucky Charms of the UFO field, doesn't
or a
it?
slot machine.
That's right. Or a slot machine. As well as...
Oh, that would be great if they got out. They were the Lucky Charms guy.
Oh, yeah, if you just jumped out of a UFO.
Yeah. It was like an army of like Lucky Charms guys. Like, oh, now we get why you guys chose those shapes.
That would be scary. Now, see, I'd be a little scared. Now we're talking leprechaun territory.
Leprechauns might be aliens. We don't know.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm not scared by the movie Leprechaun. Don't get me wrong. I laugh at the movie Leprechaun. But I'd get scared because I have bad knees.
Okay.
I have really bad knees.
Yeah.
And the last thing I want is a shillelagh to the knees. You know what I mean?
I know enough little people where I'm not worried about it.
Okay. And I mean, if you're carrying enough beer, I mean, you're in the clear.
Well, it's the whiskey, I think. That's how you get the leprechaun is whiskey.
Well, whiskey's expensive.
All the little people I've had had whiskey.
Yeah, whiskey's expensive. I think they'll settle for beer, wouldn't they?
They might, yeah.
A good beer. I'm not talking...
Yeah, you got to get a nice... Maybe an Irish stout for them.
Yeah, I'm not
or
talking...
a red.
I'm not talking Blatz. I mean, I'm talking, the good stuff. Just saying.
Do you think aliens drink beer?
Oh, of course.
You think so? You think that when we finally make contact, do you think it could lead to like you and I going to a sports bar to watch a game and belly up to the bar and right there's some alien? Hello, fellas. First one's on me.
I think so. You know what? I'm gonna get controversial on the show. You ready for this?
Yeah.
I think aliens are the one that taught humans how to make beer.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. How do you like that?
There you go.
Yeah, because how do you figure a Neanderthal or a human that's not quite evolved figures out how to take wheat and barley and hops and put them together in carbonated water and make beer?
I think they were lazy. And they put all of it together just to, I'll take care of that later. And then a month later, they realized, hey, this is smelling kind of funky. And it's fermenting. And then they see a little liquid. They're just dying of thirst. They try and like, oh, this is amazing.
Maybe.
All because they're lazy.
Maybe. That could be. That's a good theory. I like that theory. But what if the alien said, let me show you something that'll get you drunk? You want to go for a space ride? Try this. Although you're probably closer because my chipmunks have figured out how to ferment their fruit.
See? Look at that.
And they're all getting high in the front yard. So, yeah, I probably, if chipmunks can figure out how to get high off fruit.
Who has the higher tolerance, do you think, us or aliens?
Oh, we do, because we can pack it on.
Because we do it every day and they're traveling so much they can't.
Yeah, you always see really skinny aliens. You never see a real fat alien, do you?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they're always real thin.
Yeah, I'm kind of offended by that.
Yeah, I am too. I mean,
we're the fat aliens.
I want to see an alien with a badonkadonk. You know what I'm talking about?
Especially if they're traveling to Maryland.
Right.
There should be 2,000 aliens right there that should be kind of chunky.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. I mean, but it is what it is, I guess. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're talking about... one remarkable report from Pasadena, Maryland details the sighting of spinning discs. I said discs. But if they were in England, they'd be on Harry Dick Road. It's called back from yesterday. Spinning discs of various colors beneath an unidentified object. Another account from... Is it really Cockeysville, Maryland?
Yes, it is.
Described a chevron-like craft with faint circular lights on both wings. A photograph taken in Rockville, Maryland, showed a flying saucer-looking thing that disappeared shortly. That's a quote, by the way.
I like that. It's a flying saucer thing.
Looking thing, yeah.
Looking thing, yeah.
Yeah. That disappeared shortly after being captured on camera. Peter Davenport, the director of the National UFO Reporting Center, expressed his optimism about the increasing number of people coming forward with their sightings. He also welcomed the government's acknowledgement of the phenomena, stating, I don't know what the future has in store for us, but I am encouraged that more people are coming forward and the government recognizes the UFO phenomenon as something worthy of their attention. The UAP issue gained momentum earlier this year when Congress held oversight hearings to discuss these mysterious sightings, which have now been rebranded as unidentified aerial or anomalous phenomena. Videos released in recent years depict objects moving at astonishing speeds through the air without any apparent propulsion, leaving experts puzzled. With 1,923 reports originating from Maryland alone, experts continue to debate whether these UAPs have an extraterrestrial origin. Why did I say it like that? However, there is a consensus that there should be no stigma attached to reporting such sightings. Greg Ficello of Port Deposit described a recent sighting in Cecil County or Cecil County, one or the other, as made by some intelligent life form, and noted that it was unlike anything he had ever seen before. In response to the growing interest in UAPs, NASA has called for better data and more comprehensive study of these phenomena. NASA Administrator Bill Nelson acknowledged the vastness of the universe and expressed a personal belief in the existence of extraterrestrial life. Concerns have also been raised about the potential risks posed by UAPs to military and commercial aircraft, which is legitimate. Some speculate that these mysterious sightings could be part of a surveillance effort by foreign nations like China or Russia. While the question of what exactly is flying over Maryland remains unanswered, the spotlight on UAPs has intensified, and researchers from NASA and other government agencies hope to unravel some of the mysteries in the sky. As the investigation continues, residents remain captivated by the unknown and the possibility of life beyond Earth. There you go.
Okay. Yeah. I guess if it was China or Russia, they would go over Maryland, because that's where D.C. is and Virginia and all that.
Yeah, and I wonder how many bases are located in Maryland.
That's a good question.
I mean, with that many sightings, whether it's alien or not, we know that alien craft like to fly over bases that are armed, particularly if they're nuclear bases.
There should be some out there with them being where they're at.
Yeah. But if they're strategic bases and those are human craft that are flying over, then that would make sense as well. So, yeah. Interesting stuff. Our next story has to do with chilling images of a disc-shaped UFO seen by 12 airline craft, as that leaves experts baffled. We go to Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Where this takes place at O'Hare International Airport. The strange craft was spotted by workers there, flying through the skies above, and has left experts baffled as to exactly what they were looking at. Footage of a huge disc-shaped UFO spotted by airline employees over a major city has left experts scratching their heads. Strange images of the object show a metallic saucer-shaped UFO flying through the skies over Chicago. The incredible footage was captured, a little while ago or back in November 7th of 2006.
Oh.
yeah, I don't know, a few years ago.
This footage is kind of old, huh?
A little bit. By an employee at Chicago's O'Hare International Airport. The sighting was said to last just 5 minutes, but was witnessed by at least 12 people working for United Airlines at the time. The sighting made headlines around the world due to a tape released by the Federal Aviation Administration. The FAA made a statement declaring the incident a hole-punched cloud. Well, that's original.
Yeah, a hole-punched cloud. Okay, I can see that.
Right. The statement was agreed by astronomer Mark Hammergren, who was associated with the Alder Planetarium at the time. Despite the statement, the case remains a mystery and has been the subject of numerous discussions among the UFO community over the last almost 17 years. Now, almost 2 decades later, a group of PhD physicists have put forward a new theory. 30 PhD physicists working with Applied Physics, a privately funded research group, believe the O'Hare UFO is a telltale sign of a theoretical interstellar system known as I better be careful here, as an Alcubierre warp drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do they have to really reiterate that they're college-educated physicists, like doctor physicists? You know what I mean? Like, they really pounded that fact home.
Well, they earned the title.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's so like, okay, I trust physicists too. Like, I'm not a physicist. You don't have to be a doctor to be a physicist.
Well, Bruiser, let me bring it back to your world for a second. Were you trained by Joe Schmo?
No.
Who were you trained by?
I see what you're saying. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Okay. So, your training came at a premium, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're proud to be trained by who you're trained by.
So these 30 physicists were like, hey, you have to say we're doctors. We worked hard.
That's right. Look, that's right. Not only did we work hard, we got our PhDs.
And we can look at that thing right there, and it's a warp drive.
That's right. That's not just a warp drive.
I'm not saying the other word. You were nervous.
I believe it's it's either an Alcubierre or Alcubierre. I think it's Alcubierre warp drive. The idea was first conceived by theoretical physicist Miguel Alcubierre in 1994. He's still alive. I can ask him, I'm sure. The Star Trek-like warp drive can reportedly travel between stars in an incredible way. It's said to bend the fabric of time and space around itself.
Okay. Well, what is it doing in Chicago in 2006?
Yeah, maybe it wanted Portillo's. I don't know. That's what I'm doing in Chicago.
I was hankering for some hot dogs. Let's go to Chicago. Let's get some Portillo's.
Italian beef. Alexei Bobrik, who is a theoretical physicist and applied physics chief science officer because he earned that title, first published his calculations describing the perfect shape of an Alcubierre drive. Alcubierre. Is it Alcubierre or Calbier? Yeah, it's Alcubierre, I believe. Alcubierre drive in 2021. In the article published in Classical and Quantum Gravity on my doorstep every Wednesday, 5 a.m., details his belief that the most energy-efficient shape is a flat one. That's what I keep telling the women in my life. I think that it's just, yeah.
Maybe that's why I don't have energy.
See, I'm not flat, and I don't have any energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why we're not the pristine shape for energy.
That's right.
We're round.
That's right. We have no energy. See? Some models of warp drive spacetimes suggest that the shape of the spacecraft and the resulting geometry of space-time bending could significantly reduce energy requirements. Mr. Bobrik told the debrief, then looked around to see if any chicks were looking his way. He went on to say, depending on the specific design of the warp drive, the passenger holding craft may benefit from a saucer or spherical shape per the laws of general relativity.
So which is it, man? You just told us it could be both.
Well, then he looked around kind of smartly to see if any more women were looking at him. He's like, hey, you understand what I just said there? Toots.
If you understand it, don't come to my room because you're not easy.
That's right. You're not going to give me any. According to the applied physics team, the 2006 O'Hare UFO was similar to several cases of the classic UFO sighting, as it was a traditional flat flying. This is hard to say.
I was going to say, this sounds like a tongue twister.
And I have to be careful when I say it. It was a traditional flat flying saucer. Right? Witnesses described the object as being somewhere between 22 and 88 feet in diameter. John Hilkovich, a columnist for the Chicago Tribune, and said the O'Hare UFO was reported by as many as a dozen of its own workers, and that some employees even reached out to air traffic control. Audio from that call was eventually released by the FAA via the Freedom of Information Act. Brandon Melcher studied dark matter at Syracuse University and has also worked with applied physics team analyzing the O'Hare UFO. Noted the UFO's movements match that of an Alcubierre drive. He said, wow, so he knows what it is too. He said, from the witness's testimony, it seems reasonable to claim that a metallic object around 50 feet in diameter was hovering around 1,500 feet above a passenger gate at an international airport within regulated airspace. After some time, the object accelerated from 0 to about 1,000 to 2,000 feet per second almost instantaneously.
Wow.
That's quick.
So you blinked and it's gone.
Yep. The AP team added that there is no aircraft that exists now or back in 2007 that would have been capable of hovering in midair and then accelerating directly upward at thousands of feet per second. Mr. Melcher added the only way to fully investigate sightings like this is to gather more data. He added that the level of reluctance expressed by several witnesses should be a cause for concern, which is why we must remove this dangerous stigma. He went on to say, pursuing the truth should be the norm, not suppressing facts and scientific discourse. The lack of evidence in the O'Hare UFO case still supports a possibility of a warp drive powered craft, according to the AP team. Ultimately, the FAA declared the object to be just a strange weather phenomenon.
Of course.
My tongue is firmly in cheek.
That was lightning. That's all it was.
Speaking of, I have an interesting story about lightning here coming up.
Oh, okay.
A first time ever experiment gone right.
Really?
Yeah, having to do with lightning. We continue on with our UFO alien news. Dozens of UFO reports have been made to police with a stunned pilot or pilots spotting objects from their cockpits. Hey, Dick Road. Sorry, I'm still stuck in yesterday. I just am.
You're still stuck in the hairy dick?
Yeah, yes, I am. Several people reported seeing bizarre phenomena in the skies above them to Essex police over in England. According to the chilling response to a Freedom of Information Act request. Several people have reported spotting unidentified flying objects in the skies above them to police, including concerned pilots flying planes full of passengers.
Oh, so the passengers saw it too then, huh?
Mm-hmm. A Freedom of Information Act request was made to Essex police to ask about sightings made from frightened members of the public. Several talk of lights traveling at high speed, while one says they danced in the night sky above their homes. Also known as unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAP, there are no answers to ascertain what each of the bizarre sightings really were. One was made by a pilot from Ryanair traveling at more than 200 miles an hour, who said Ryanair was climbing out from Stansted Airport and was a height of 4,000 feet, and just over the St. Elizabeth Center, the pilot saw an object which describes as black. It passed within 20 meters of the aircraft. The plane was traveling at 230 miles per hour, and the object was traveling from north to south. They have said that it was possibly a drone, but the drone monitoring equipment at the airport has not picked it up.
Okay.
Okay.
So they had just taken off when it passed in front of them, you said?
Yes.
How high? I guess some drones can go super high.
They can, yeah. There are some that are designed to.
Okay.
Another report was made after 3 aircraft reported seeing an object near their planes at the same time. The Erie report read, incident placed on as UFO as 3 aircraft reported an object was in their vicinity. INF from Tower reporting 2 planes have reported an object at about 500 feet below them as they were coming into land on runway 22, the closest being 20 kilometers away. Approached 2 to 3 miles out when their TCAS, or Traffic Collision Avoidance System, alerted them to something at around 500 feet. None of the pilots could see anything when they looked.
Really?
Yeah.
See, now I'm wondering if weather had a factor into it. I don't know how sensitive those things are. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like a hail or raindrop or something flies in front of it. Does it think, oh, this could be something that we can hit? There's a signal? I don't know.
It's a good question. It's a good question. Another creepy report made by a member of the public said, I would like to report a sighting of an unidentified flying object. The object appeared oval in shape and was a metallic color with no apparent markings or lights. There was no conventional aircraft characteristics at all. The object was traveling east to west, just south of my address in a straight line, and the altitude was level around 100 feet at the time, or at all times, as a guess. The object was moving quickly across the sky, very smoothly, with no deviation in height or direction, or without any effects of the weather, is the only way I could describe it.
Okay.
It was moving too fast to be a bird, and definitely was not a balloon that usually gets affected by the wind, causing them to turn or tumble. This was unaffected by the light breeze that was blowing. This was a solid oval shape and was silent. This was not a drone or model aircraft due to the way it was flying. Viewed this from inside the rear of my home, and then this object did not leave my sight until it was too far in the distance and was obscured by another property. I have no explanation as to what this object could be. Interesting.
You know what it wasn't? I can guarantee it wasn't a tumbleweed.
Yes, I hate those goddamn things. Telling you.
Well, he was tossing out everything else it couldn't have been.
Yeah.
So.
Oh. He'd know a tumbleweed because it'd be on the ground and it'd be getting in his way. Just saying. Earlier this month, a sleepy Scottish village was named as a hotspot for UFOs. The bizarre sightings have been made in Scotland for several years, and the famous Falkirk Triangle is a popular hunting ground for spotters. Bonnie Bridge near the town has become famous for unusual objects spotted in its skies, sparking calls for a government probe.
Okay. We've reported on that town before.
Yes, we have. Yep. Yes, indeed. We move on. An interesting story here, talking about new technology. And you might have remembered that Elon Musk sent a car to space.
I don't remember that he did.
Yeah, he sent one up to land on the, I believe it was on the moon. They were testing it for it to go to Mars.
Okay.
Like a little Mars rover.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, a major car firm has unveiled a car that astronauts can use on the moon that's going to rival Tesla's car that is supposed to be a moon rover. A major car firm has unveiled a car that they say could be used by astronauts on the moon, which is a move to rival Tesla. Nobody has walked on the lunar surface since the Apollo 17 team in 1972, but soon people could be driving on it. Toyota has released the concept for its baby lunar cruiser. That sounds so cute.
It does. It's like, quick. It doesn't sound as cool as like Arnold yelling at, like, get to the chopper,
right.
Get to the baby Luna cruiser.
You know, he has a new book out.
Yeah.
Yeah. The baby Luna cruiser. Yeah, it doesn't sound tough at all, does it?
No.
It's an all-electric SUV that the manufacturer claims could be used in space. Computer-generated design images show the compact 4x4 in a desert setting intended to mimic the surface of the moon. It is guided by a trove of cameras and sensors feeding back real-time data into an augmented reality program. This theoretically allows it to detect rough terrain and craters of the sort that might be found on the moon. I have a little bit of a problem with Toyota coming up with a 4x4 for the moon.
I do too.
I mean, they've never been there.
No, you're right. They haven't.
So how would they know how to build a vehicle for the moon?
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
Are they working with us? Well, is it... Toyota's still a Japanese company, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, most of their stuff is manufactured. Well, most of their stuff is manufactured in other countries.
I'd rather have Toyota than Tesla.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I guess
want Elon Musk around that.
Yeah. I'd rather have Toyota, but honestly, I'd rather
have Chevy.
I'd rather have Mercedes-Benz. Well, not for the. I mean,
you know what?
Mercedes.
It's outer space. Let's have a Mack truck.
Mercedes-Benz or Volkswagen or one of the German companies. I'd rather have them build it.
You know, I'm going to keep it homegrown. What about Harley Davidson?
Oh yeah.
get a couple. Instead of these little tiny lunar, you have the big giant.
Yeah.
We can call them moon hogs.
Yeah. Yeah. Moon hogs. Yeah, there you go.
Big wheels, from our own biker gang up there.
Our own biker gang on the moon. The tires are airless to account for massive pressure changes in space, and each wheel has its own self-contained motor to power it.
Okay.
That's a nice innovation.
That is. Yeah.
Yeah. The vehicle will also be able to stand or withstand the violent temperature swings on the moon, which can see highs of 121 degrees Celsius and lows of 128 below Celsius. Astronauts can control it with a joystick. Oh, great. We've heard that before. As they enjoy the panoramic view through the large panes of heavily reinforced windows. Under the design, it would be able to hold 2 people securely for 14 days, while there's also a folding rear seat to accommodate extra passengers. The concept was dreamt up by Calty, which is C-A-L-T-Y, Design Research in the U.S., as part of the manufacturer's global design network. It is based on the self-driving lunar rover being built by Japan's National Space Exploration Agency for use in 2029. The project has come to light in the wake of Elon Musk shooting his personal Tesla Roadster into space in 2018. The EV flew past Mars and played Space Odyssey hundreds of thousands of times as it hurtled around the sun. It comes amid problems for electric cars back on Earth, as an economics professor claimed they will never be adopted in the UK until 3 key issues are solved. Meanwhile, it emerged that electric vehicles are more expensive to insure than gasoline and diesel cars.
So wait, they have to put insurance on it to put it on the moon?
Oh, well, no, just saying that in general here on Earth.
Yeah. No, I knew that.
Yeah, they're more expensive. So, yeah.
I'd say they'd have to worry about it starting on fire, but it's space and there's no oxygen. So they don't have to worry about their Tesla starting on fire.
That would be kind of funny if it,
you see it.
If it still started on fire anyways up there. Yeah. All of a sudden you just see it explode.
Now, you think when they announce these to the public that Toyota sales will go up and Tesla sales will go up?
No. I don't think I don't think it'll have make a difference one way or the other.
I don't think going to space and going to the moon is as exciting as it used to be.
Well, it's not
because of all the tragedies we've had.
It's not that. It's that I don't think the general public draws the line between space travel and being able to get a consumer product. So I don't look at a vehicle on the moon and think, oh, I can drive that around here on Earth.
I don't know. When I was a kid, I always wanted to fly a spaceship.
Right, but it's not like you can go down to the local dealer and buy one.
I know.
Right. So I don't think seeing a Land Rover up on the moon, you think, oh, I can probably go down to, go down to Friendly Chev over there in Fridley and I can go pick one up.
Right.
You probably can't.
Yeah.
So consumers don't draw that line. It's right. Not a line you can draw. So that's why I think it's although it's nice that these companies are getting involved in coming up with innovations for space travel, it may help them in manufacturing down the line. It's just not. It's not helping. It's not helping the consumer, the average consumer, right now.
Yeah. And like I said, there's no real interest. At least I don't think there's not as much hype going up there as there was in, let's say, the 60s.
I don't know. I think
I honestly think since Challenger, they don't, because I remember as a kid, every time they'd have a launch, that would be the news for the whole week.
Right. Yeah.
This time around, the only reason I knew about SpaceX is because Discovery Channel put it on, but no one had said anything. And that's not really flying. That's just going up and coming back,
I think the new...
But when's the last time you were excited for a launch?
Well, it's been a while, but you know why? It's because they put it under a veil of secrecy again.
Which I don't get.
They stopped announcing what these launches were for, and they started doing more of them. And that was the key. With more frequency, they become less special.
Right.
So it's kind of like, well, you know, it's kind of like if
why do you think they went to hiding it from us?
Because it became business.
Okay.
It's kind of like if the Greyhound bus only shows up once every 6 months in your town, it's a big deal. Mm-hmm. But when the Greyhound bus takes off once a day from the bus station, well, then it's business.
Okay.
And it's you know, it's just, well, the Greyhound bus is leaving again from the station today.
Yeah.
And it's just business as usual. And that's what space travel has become now. It's business as usual. So it's not special. It was special back then because we weren't doing it as often.
Right.
You know?
And now basically you can pay X amount of dollars to visit space.
Sure. Yeah. Now it's a consumer business.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's big business at that.
Oh yeah. It's $250,000, right, to go up, I think.
At least. Yeah. It's $250,000. Yeah. To start, just to fly in the atmosphere, the outer atmosphere. Right. But if you actually want to go up into space, it's more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I have no intentions.
You wouldn't?
Nope. Would you?
I'll tell you, if I won that Powerball, the $1.5 billion or whatever.
Yeah.
I'd think about it.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I'd rather go down underwater than up in space.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to go up in space, I think.
Not me.
I'd want to see the stars.
That would, yeah, that would be cool, but yeah, I'd still go down.
I want to see the stars, the planets, the sun. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would be cool to be anti-gravity, but I still, no.
And I know there's nothing up there that's going to eat me.
Well,
in the ocean.
We don't know. It's on these UAPs we've been reported about.
No, that's true. It's true.
There might be someone on there that kind of gets off his ship, looks at you and goes, "Oh boy, Cruiser, you look delicious.
You're not flat. You're round. I can eat all of you."
Yeah. See? Yeah, that's true. You got a point there. Let's see here. We got how many stories here before break? We got two. I think we got two stories before break here, and then Nightmare Fuel when we come back. I tell you what, scientists have done something for the first time that is pretty darn impressive.
Okay.
Impressive, rather. Metallica had a song called Ride the Lightning.
Yes, it did. Fantastic song.
But what if they could have bent it?
Bent the lightning?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For the first time, scientists have bent lightning. Unfortunately, they're not paying for it afterwards. Yeah. Researchers were able to deflect lightning using a powerful laser shot to the sky, which is a scientific first.
Really? To bend lightning?
Yep.
I've seen it curved. We didn't do it.
Bing, bing. They bent it.
Okay.
Yeah. In other words, somebody who fancied themselves as Minnesota Fats or Willie Moscone decided they were going to bank it and then put it in the corner pocket. A powerful laser was able to deflect a lightning bolt almost 200 feet before it hit a lightning rod, greatly improving the rod's function, if you know what I mean.
So it's all our lightning rods. Now we got to go buy lasers for them, too.
That's right.
So if I look up at night, it's just going to look like a Star Wars movie with lasers and lightning everywhere.
That's right. Yep. The findings published in January show that lasers, could one day be used as protection against dangerous thunderstorms, which kill an average of 43 people in the U.S. every year and cost U.S. homeowners about $1 billion in insurance claims in 2022.
Okay.
That's right. Lasers as lightning rods. Think about it. The idea to use a laser's lightning rod goes back to the early 70s when somebody was watching too much Star Wars.
I was going to say, it's going to look like Star Wars at night.
Yeah. Said Aurelian Horde. I'm being careful with the name. It's Huard, not Horde, but Huard, a research scientist at the Laboratoire d'Optique Appliquée at Swiss University, I know I didn't do the accent, EPFL, don't try to tell me what the accent is supposed to be, and coordinator of the project, in a blog post on the French site Polytechnique Insights. The principle is simple. Laser beams, if they are powerful enough, can heat the air so intensely that they trigger molecules to release their electrons. This creates a channel full of charged electrons along the laser beam, and all those electrons attract lightning bolts, which seek the path of least resistance between the clouds and the ground. The problem is that the channel is very short-lived, and laser beams flicker. Those scientists, that's flicker. If you join the L in the I, it looks like something else. Those scientists had been able to deflect lightning in the lab. They'd never been able to do it in real life conditions. To make sure the channel stayed open long enough to bend lightning during a storm, scientists developed a laser able to fire high power pulses 1,000 times per second.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good laser.
Yeah, it is. Now,
I didn't know that they fluctuated. I thought they were always just a constant beam.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Yeah. This was a joint effort by the University of Geneva and EPFL in Switzerland and the École Polytechnique in France and Trumpf, scientific lasers firm in Germany. That's Trump with an F on the end of it.
I was saying Trump, huh?
Yes. Their laser pulsed 100 times faster than their previous laser, which means their laser is 100 times more likely to catch lightning. Heward said in the Wall Street Journal. I know it sounds like a fake story. It's not, folks. I'm telling you the truth.
I was going to say, this is not a real story. Come on.
No, it is. It really is.
Okay.
They even tested it at the top of a Swiss mountain.
Oh, really?
Yeah. To test the new gear, scientists brought the 3-ton laser. It weighs 3 tons.
And we're supposed to put that on our house?
Yeah, I know. They're going to have to miniaturize it a little bit.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. They brought the 3-ton laser to the top of the 8,000-foot high Mount Santis in Switzerland. The advantage of this location is the 400-foot communications tower, which is reliably hit by lightning at least 100 times per year.
What if you were, okay, so you decide you and intern Yoker are going to take a vacation. You go to Switzerland. Mm-hmm. You get this really beautiful hotel.
Sure.
Overlooking the mountains.
Okay.
You wake up in the morning to go sip your cup of coffee, sit on the porch, and you look up, and there's a 30-ton laser on top of the mountain.
Probably going to want to change rooms.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm just saying. The laser was powered up anytime the weather forecast predicted thunderstorms. Eventually, the scientists were able to record a natural lightning bolt that, for the first time, followed the laser beam before hitting the tower. Of course, we needed to analyze a lot more data following this, said Jean-Pierre Wolf, who sounds like a character out of a spy novel.
Yes, he does.
But he's actually the professor of applied physics at UNIGE. He said that in a video accompanying the findings in French, but that picture spoke 1,000 words. There was no doubt possible. He said, when I saw this picture, I knew we had it. They say their lightning protection gear needs an upgrade, though.
What, the rubber shoes you're wearing aren't working?
Yeah, evidently not. You got to take off your galoshes, evidently. The finding provides hope that lasers would one day offer a much-needed new avenue for protection against lightning bolts. Lightning rods, which were invented by Benjamin Franklin, so the technology needs an upgrade, remain the best form of protection we've got against lightning, per a press release accompanying the findings. The problem is that the protection extends only as far as the rod is tall. That means a 10-foot tall rod will protect anyone within 10 feet of the pole, but not any further than that. A laser, on the other hand, could reach high into the clouds. We found that the discharge could follow the beam for nearly 60 meters or 196 feet before reaching the tower, Wolf said. That meant that the laser increased the radius of the protection surface from 120 meters or 393 feet to 180 meters or 590 feet. The next step is to try and develop a laser that can reach even higher up in the sky.
So 50 years from now, we're going to have to go outside to turn our lasers on because it's lightning out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
The findings.
Did you know that Ben Franklin didn't actually hold the kite with the key? He had a kid do it and then took credit for it.
That's pretty cowardly.
Huh?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I'm not getting electrocuted. You get electrocuted. Then I'll write about it.
The next step is to try to develop a laser that can reach even higher up into the sky. As we put it before, the findings of this study, as it disappeared on me, there we go. The findings were published in the peer-reviewed journal Nature Photonics, in case you're looking for it on the newsstand, and it was published back on January 16th.
Okay.
Yeah, so there you go.
Gotcha.
Interesting, huh? Last story before we go to break.
Okay.
All right. And that is this. Ring, as we mentioned before, will give you $1 million, Bruiser. $1 million if you manage to capture an alien on your doorbell camera.
Okay. Now, by alien, they mean extraterrestrial, not like someone from Mexico or Canada.
Yes. You've nailed it, my friend.
Just trying to see, because if they don't specify that, I know a Canadian friend that can come by and get on my Ring camera.
You have a Canadian friend?
Yeah. It's the only thing I like from Canada. But yeah, he'll sit there and he'll go, hey, into the camera. Look, I caught an alien.
Yeah, no, not so much, my friend. Ring doorbell owners have the chance of snatching themselves a fortune. So, or should they manage to capture footage of an extraterrestrial on the camera technology? People often capture incredible things on their Ring video doorbells, and now owners could become millionaires if theirs proves we are not alone in the universe. For decades, people have caught bizarre and unexplained encounters on video, as well as the events of their everyday life. In recent years, the invention of video doorbells means people have caught villains trying to break into their homes, as well as all manner of types of things. Now, the invention could help land someone a small fortune, and all they have to do is capture an alien on their camera. That's all you got to do.
That's it.
Ring owners have until November 3rd to hand over their proof to the firm, when a meteorologist and astrobiologist will check it over for authenticity. Once confirmed, the winner will land $1 million or 800,000 pounds to be handed over in installments over 20 years. Yes, you don't get it all at one time.
For 20 years, there's that check.
That's right. Non-believers also have the chance of landing some cash, as the best fake will win $50,000.
So you can fake one too.
You can fake a video.
Okay.
So there you go. In April, a dad of 3 was left astonished when he caught footage of what he believed was a flying angel on his Ring door cam, and wondered if it could have been the spirit of his dead father watching over him and his family. 33-year-old Robert Mansfield couldn't believe his eyes when his partner, 31-year-old Stephanie Scott, showed him a video taken while she and her 7-year-old son, Oscar Scott, were returning from a dog walk on March 7th. Footage shows the mother and son pair approaching their front door with Maltese and Pomeranian cross Keo, just as a white mark appears above them in the night sky. The mysterious mark then drifts upwards and then vanishes altogether. Robert had been just 14 years old when he lost his dad, Mick Mansfield, who died at the age of 44. He says the clip has brought him some comfort, especially as the family has had a tough time of late after Keo lost an eye following an attack by another dog. Robert from Beaumont Leys, Leicestershire, said, we've had a tough time recently, so seeing something like that makes you think someone's out there watching out for you. We also say my dad is my kid's guardian angel, so seeing something like that is heartwarming. It might be him. I've never experienced something like this before. It was amazing, and it gave us some comfort. When Stephanie showed me, she asked if it's an angel because you can see the wings flapping. I told her it can't be because I'm not a huge believer in stuff like that. But when I looked into it, I was really surprised and realized it could actually be something. So there you go, Bruiser. $1 million if it's genuine, 50,000 if you made it up.
Did that guy post that video at all of the so-called angel?
It's a good question. I'm not sure.
Like, I get that's where they get the idea, but I'm just curious. I want to see the video because with my Ring camera, we get bugs on it all the time, and there's certain times where you can see through their wings and it distorts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know for sure if he posted it or not. No idea. Well, I'm
gonna have to try and figure out how to get a fake up there. Go make some $50,000.
There you go. Well, folks, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I have really, really bad news for you.
Oh, no. You just made my day with the ring thing.
I did.
And break my heart.
I know. I had really good news for you. Now I have really bad news for you. I'm just going to save it for after the break, but let's just say there's a theme behind it.
Oh, great.
Yeah. It's Nightmare Fuel, folks. It's coming up after the break. But on a bright note, we're going to meet a shark that screams. We've got that coming up after the break. There's a brand new sea monster out there we'll meet. And at the by the way, spiders are falling from the sky in California. We'll tell you about that. If you have a fear of spiders, you might want to turn away from this broadcast for a little bit. And we've got Ziggy's picks.
She's back.
She's back. She's got her mojo back, kids. So we're going to tell you a little bit about that when we come back. It's all in the second half of, and we're going to end the program today by telling you, if your mate is just not made for you, that's right. If your mate can't sit and watch scary stuff, maybe you need to kick her to the curb, or him to the curb. We're going to tell you, maybe there's a way to save that relationship if they don't like scary stuff.
Okay.
We're going to talk about that at the end of the program. So that's all coming up here on a Wednesday. It's a cruiser and a burler on a Supernatural News Wednesday right here on the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio. Welcome back to a Supernatural News Wednesday. Yeah, I know I didn't say Parashare. We're a little behind on that, guys. We don't have any stories. So I'm appealing to you right now. Get your Parashare stories into us. Just write tim@darknessradio.com. Send us an email with your Parashare stories, your experiences with ghosts, Bigfoot. Maybe you did run into an alien who tried to take a bite out of you. It could have happened.
Or had a beer with you.
Or probed you. Speaking of probing.
Maybe that's why they introduced us to beer.
Oh, a good night of probing?
Yeah, like they get you drunk enough, you kind of, okay, I'm open to it.
Yeah, it might be. Speaking of probing, Bruiser, do you want to hear about tomorrow's show?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'll take a side tour here and tell you about tomorrow's show, because tomorrow's show, folks, may be a bit, it's not for the squeamish, we'll put it that way.
Okay.
Tomorrow's show, our guest is Karen Wilkinson, the author of Stolen Seed, Evil Harvest. Karen Wilkinson will not only share the chronicles of her life experiences, but also will provide her insights into the activities and motives of the extraterrestrial beings that she's encountered. She will delve into the reasons behind their actions, the challenges that they encounter, and the intricate web of deceit they weave into their interactions with humanity.
Ooh.
That's right. Stolen Seed, Evil Harvest with Karen Wilkinson tomorrow. UFOs and abduction.
Where else can they go?
Parashare. All right. So you either go to tim@darknessradio.com, leave us an email, or you go to darknessradioshow.com to the website. Click on that blue button. Leave us a 2-minute voice note. If you need more than 2 minutes, click that blue button again. We'll stitch it together and we'll play your lovely voice on the show. So there you go. It's our button bar that plays lovely things just like this. It's that time again, Bruiser.
So I love and hate this time every time we record.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. We've opened up Pandora's box. We've unleashed the beast, and now the beast is building its own robots. It doesn't need us, Bruiser.
That's the robot factory we were talking about, right?
Although now they're not even building human-looking robots.
Oh, okay.
They're building alien-looking robots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They must know something we don't know.
An alien-looking robot is the first entirely designed by and built by AI, and it only took seconds for them to do it.
Oh, jeez. Of course it did.
Yeah. Artificial intelligence developed by researchers has created its first robot from scratch. The team at Northwestern University has created an AI that is able to design a robot on its own. The goal of the AI was to create a robot that could walk on a flat surface. The robot used to create the AI was run on a small personal computer, which was an incredible feat since most AI need large computers and an excessive amount of power to run. We discovered a very fast AI-driven design algorithm that bypasses the traffic jams of evolution without falling back on the bias of human designers, Sam Kriegman told Northwestern Now. We told the AI that we wanted a robot that could walk across land. Then we simply pressed a button and presto! It generated a blueprint for a robot in the blink of an eye that looks nothing like any animal that has ever walked the earth. I call this process instant evolution.
Oh, jeez. I call it terrifying.
Yeah. The AI created a block that had the capability of being able to jiggle but not walk. Once the AI realized its error, it began to modify its design multiple times in order to create a structure that could walk. With trial and error, the robot went from bouncing in place to eventually being able to walk after 9 tries. The development of this robot remarkably only took 26 seconds on the laptop.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm. Now, anyone can watch evolution in action as AI generates better and better robot bodies in real time, Kriegman said. Kriegman believes the development of this robot has happened faster than previous researchers have thought possible. Evolving robots previously required weeks of trial and error on a supercomputer, and of course, before any animals could run, swim, or fly around the world, there were billions upon billions of years of trial and error. This is because evolution has no foresight. It cannot see into the future to know if a specific mutation will be beneficial or catastrophic. We found a way to remove this blindfold, thereby compressing billions of years of evolution into an instant. Without any prompting, the AI came up with a design that had 3 legs, fins, a flat face, and multiple holes in order to create the walking machinery. When humans design robots, we tend to design them to look like familiar objects, Kriegman said, but AI can create new possibilities and new pathways forward that humans have never even considered. It could help us think and dream differently, and this might help us solve some of those most difficult problems that we face.
How? No. It can create now robots that are perfect killing machines for them.
Yeah. Yippers. And it did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because we're going to see that coming at us and not know what it is. That's why I created it that way.
It's going to look like a big old alien coming at you. You're not going to recognize it. You're going to go, what the is that?
And then you're going to be dead.
Boom, off with your head.
Yep. And then you're going to be dead.
You're going to be so astonished at whatever that is you're looking at.
Yep.
That you're not going to see that big old blade coming out of its scrotum. You're going to be like, what's that coming out of its scrotum? What's that coming out of its crotch? Hey, is that Harry Dick? And that's it. You're done. You're done, Bruiser. You're done. Bruiser, you can now WhatsApp virtual Kendall Jenner and Tom Brady now as Meta pays celeb millions to become AI chatbots.
Oh, somebody out there is going to actually think they're talking to them.
Yep. Meta has been paying celebrities millions to become the faces of its new AI chatbots, so you too can be a sucker.
You could spend lots of money to not talk to the person you want to talk to.
That's right. Last month, Meta began rolling out its AI chatbot assistant across its apps, including WhatsApp, Messenger, and Instagram. By the way, would you like to pretend to talk to this right here?
Who is that?
I think that's Kylie Jenner. I think.
No, I wouldn't talk to her.
No, you wouldn't talk to her?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's Kendall, not Kylie. That's Kendall.
Yeah, still wouldn't talk to her.
You wouldn't talk to her?
But no, it's not her. It's AI.
It's AI. Well, that's true. It's even if the AI was shirtless like that and just wearing the jean jacket.
It's still just AI.
That's true. The aim of the chatbots is to enhance the user experience on Meta-owned apps. The AI-powered tool functions similarly to OpenAI's ChatGPT and Google's Bard. This includes having one-on-one conversations, answering questions, and even offering travel recommendations. Moreover, Meta's AI tools feature different personalities, some of which belong to famous celebrities. These celebrities include reality television star Kendall Jenner, pro football player Tom Brady, and YouTuber Mr. Beast.
He's actually, I hear, a really cool dude.
Is he?
I don't know who he is, but I've heard that he's a really cool dude.
Oh, all right. Kendall Jenner's likeness is used for one AI assistant named Billy. Meanwhile, Billy. I just want to do Jimmy Stewart impressions.
Oh, Billy.
Oh, Billy. Will you help me, Billy? Meanwhile, Tom Brady portrays a chatbot named Brew.
Hey, that's kind of ripping off my name.
Yeah. However, the celebrities' likenesses don't come cheap, costing Meta millions. In fact, the tech giant has dished out as much as $5 million to one celebrity for just 6 hours of work.
Jeez.
Must be
almost
nice.
$1 million an hour.
That's right. In an interview earlier this fall, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg said there's a huge need for AI celebrities. It'll be clear to people that they're not interacting with the physical Kylie Jenner. It would be kind of an AI version, he explained. This is part of
it will be.
Well, yeah, it is. I don't know where the confusion would be. This is a part of a larger push by the company to utilize AI technology for its platforms. AI chatbots could also offer the company more user data for targeted advertisements, which is Meta's main revenue source. Once users interact with a chatbot, it really exposes much more of their data to the company so that the company can do anything they want with that data. Ravit Dotan, who is the AI ethics advisor and researcher, told the Financial Times Meta has been investing in the AI sector for years, and just earlier this year, the company pledged to spend up to $33 billion on new AI tools, specifically language learning models.
I could save them that much money.
And just not do it?
Just not do it. Or pay us to come in and tell people they're stupid for thinking it's going to work and not kill us. We'll split the $33 billion.
Heck yeah. What would you do with $33 billion?
We'll even do it for $30 billion.
I know. We'll save them $3 billion.
Exactly. Look at that.
We'll jump on a keyboard every time somebody wants to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be like, sup, dude. That's my boy Brew over there.
Yo, I'm Tom Brady.
I'm Tom Brady. No, you got to be Brew because he claims he's
that's it.
Brew.
Yo, I'm Brew. I threw a touchdown pass.
In the Super Bowl once.
To my buddy Gronk.
Yeah. What do you think of them apples?
I was married to a supermodel after cheating on my lawyer wife. Actor wife, whatever she was. She was on Law & Order.
She was an actor, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was on Law & Order.
Yeah, Law & Order. That's right.
Huh. Or was it Law & Order or was it Blue Bloods? It's one of the two.
Bridget Moynihan? Wasn't that his wife?
Yeah.
Yeah. His first wife? Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, you know who got all whipped up this weekend?
Who?
Oh, they were all whipped up in a tizzy. They went all conspiracy theory on the bit. Entertainment Tonight.
Really?
And it all started with Tay-Tay and
Kelsey?
Tay-Kel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Tay-Kel got all injured on the field. Tay-Tay wasn't there. There's a conspiracy theory. If Tay-Tay would have been with Tay-Kel, he wouldn't have got injured. And then from there, every other couple in Hollywood fell apart.
What?
All because of that.
So what about the years that he didn't know her and he ran all those plays?
I don't know.
Won all those Super Bowls.
Yeah. Boy, it was. It made my head hurt.
Yeah, I believe it. Especially if Entertainment Tonight's picking it up.
Yeah.
Like, let's stop giving Taylor Swift this much power. She's not that good.
That's right. I know.
And I'm going to get raked over the coals with it, but I'm not a Swiftie.
Yeah. And what's with the Minnesota Vikings fans wearing Swiftie jerseys?
I saw that. I was like, wait a minute. That's Jefferson's number, but it's a Swiftie.
Yeah.
Are they hoping she breaks up with Kelsey and goes to Jefferson?
Yeah. What's he, Mr. Steal Your Girl this weekend or what?
Well, not now. He's hurt.
Yeah, well. Hey, there's
maybe
one.
That's how he got hurt, trying to woo her.
Maybe he pulled a hamstring doing something else, if you know what I mean.
And that was Taylor going, hey, Swifties, wear these jerseys. Get this over.
Yeah, see. She's just going to work her way around the NFL, if you know what I mean.
Hey, whoever she's with, they saw a ton of merch. Kelsey's jerseys went up over 400%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. But,
so now you're going to get your Jeffersons to go, and then she come down to Green Bay for love, maybe, and does she just stay in the Midwest?
She wouldn't be caught. She wouldn't be caught dead in Green Bay.
Do you think she just stays in the Midwest? So she goes from Kansas City all the way up to Minneapolis, Minnesota, Minneapolis to Green Bay,
stop off
Green Bay to Chicago, go to Indianapolis, stop by Cincinnati.
What's she gonna do in Indianapolis?
Well, she doesn't have to do much because the guy keeps getting hurt.
Yeah,
quarterback.
No, she's going to go for the running back, Taylor. She's not going to bother with the quarterback.
She wants to be the most important thing.
You know who she's going to go for? Minshew. She'll go for Minshew.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
She'll be like, you're underrated. Come here, nice mustache.
Yeah. I mean, I know she likes a tight end, but she might like a guy who throws every once in a while, throws a pass at her. Should go for Minshew. Just saying. I mean, the quarterbacks make the money in that league.
Oh, yeah, of course. But she doesn't need money. She has money.
No, but it's all about the guys who will step out front and be bold.
Do you think she's going to do it with at least 12 guys so that way she can write a new album when they break up?
Yes, yeah. Well, 13 because you need a bonus track.
Okay, you need a bonus track. Yeah. Gotcha.
I think, you know what? She may make the trip to L.A. I think Justin Herbert.
Oh, I can see that.
Her and Herbert would be a good couple.
Call him Sherbert. Be great.
That's Swerbert.
There it is, Swerbert.
Yeah, Swerbert. That's actually kind of a cool name, Swerbert.
It is.
Yeah, I think we start the rumor here.
Okay.
Yeah, that she's left Travis Kelce for Justin Herbert.
Yep, and then now she's Swerbert.
Now it's Swerbert.
And the AI thing, when you call the AI thing, it's Swerbert is actually Justin Herbert coming in to say hi.
That's right. So I don't know how we get this. How do we get them together? Justin Herbert and Taylor Swift.
You know what? Justin Herbert. Shoot your shot.
Let me see.
Shoot your shot.
There you go.
Put it out there in the universe.
Let's look up when. I mean, it's not time for Ziggy's picks yet, but you know what? When it's time for Ziggy's picks, I will look up when Kansas City plays LA.
Oh, so that's when you think.
That's when they cross paths.
Gotcha.
And that's when Taylor hops off, when Tay-Tay hops off
Kelsey
and hops onto
Swerbert.
J-Herb. Swerbert. That's when Swerbert is formed. That sounds like a flavor over at TCBY.
It does.
I'd like
it's
a
a 30-second flavor at Baskin Robbins.
Yeah. I'd like a tall Swerbert, please, with sprinkles. Anyways, we got a story here about a monster 1-ton great white shark that screams before leaping from the water. I'm a shark!
I'm going to eat you!
I can imagine that's what he is. Wildlife photographer David Fleetum captured this incredible image and said more needs to be done to protect these misunderstood beasts from the deep. Of course,
they're not misunderstood. We just keep going into their ocean and getting mad when they bite us. Mm-hmm. I'd bite somebody that came in my front yard too.
Yeah. He's like, rawr, I'm a shark. Yes. This is the stunning moment a great white shark weighing nearly 1 ton screams before launching itself out of the water.
And I really hope it's a high-pitched scream because he's 1 ton. So you're just expecting this real low, like, but no, all you get is a, hey!
Oh my God. The incredible series taken off the coast of Guadalupe Island in Mexico shows a cluster of bubbles coming out of the great white's mouth. Of course, it is not a deep scream at all. Resembles a voiceless shout, but a split second later, the shark is seen leaping from the water, showing off its formidable rows of teeth. Other awe-inspiring photos include an inquisitive shark getting up close and personal with an underwater photographer and a great white shark grinning ominously. Another shows a sleek and powerful shark launching itself at a bait hook. The extraordinary shots were snapped by wildlife photographer David Fleetum, who travels the world shooting sea creatures on film. Some of Fleetum's previous photos have appeared on numerous publications covers across the globe, notably including Life magazine, where his photo remains the only underwater shot to grace the front cover. The bubbles in front of the shark's mouth are actually from the bait being snatched out of the water, just as the shark was about to bite it.
So he's not shouting.
No, he's not like, oh, stop it. The acclaimed photographer explained that shark wranglers are adept at the game of luring the sharks in close to the cage for photographers. The goal is not to feed the sharks. Once they are full, they will go away. A free meal is all the great whites are interested in, and they merely put up with the divers in cages for the small snacks that they are offered. They have no interest in the people blowing bubbles and gawking at them between the bars. Since the release of the 1975 Hollywood blockbuster Jaws, the great white shark has suffered from a tarnished reputation. Although great whites have attacked humans, the statistics show that they are only between 5 and 10 incidents per year across the whole planet involving these sharks, and fatal attacks are vanishingly rare. Thousands of the predators are slaughtered by humans every year, mainly for their fins for shark fin soup.
Oh, yeah. It's a big thing that PETA's trying to get stopped.
Yeah. Fleetum believes we must take responsibility for protecting our planet's waters and the creatures that dwell within them. He said, my career has blessed me with over 40 years of encounters in the world's oceans and shown me a beauty I've never seen equaled on land. He said the world population hit 7.5 billion in 2017, and the global population is expected to reach 8.3 and 10.9 billion by 2050. Kind of interesting. So yeah, screaming sharks.
I wish they'd scream before they bit us, then we'd know. There'd be less attacks.
I know, right? It's like, here I come. Woo! I would pay big money for that if they did that before they bit me. So
I'd get, like, if they bit me, I'd be disappointed because I didn't hear the Jaws music beforehand.
Right? You would think you would hear that. I mean, you would think they'd have the copyrights to that. So,
you'd think so.
Yeah. It's just fair play. That's all I'm saying. The living Nostradamus claims that the Queen has an urgent warning for Harry from the afterlife.
This guy. We've talked about this guy before, haven't we?
I believe we have, yes. Let's see what he has to say, shall we?
Let's see. I mean, you know what? He's trying.
Mm-hmm. He's trying. I'm glad you've given him a scathing report. The exact 2 years Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's children, Archie and Lilibet, will exert their influence on the world has been predicted by a paranormal expert who's been dubbed the living Nostradamus. A self-proclaimed seer dubbed the living Nostradamus for his accurate predictions. Well, let's slow down there, children. Of the future has claimed that just weeks after the first anniversary of Queen Elizabeth II's passing, Her Majesty is worried about her great-grandchildren. If she was so worried, how come they didn't get invited to the castle more often? Brazilian paranormal expert Athos Salome, who has made a series of prophecies ranging from natural disasters to Harry and Meghan's relationship, which was a natural disaster, claims that in the afterlife, the Queen has concerns for the couple's children. He says he is able to use his Kabbalistic abilities to ascertain certain feelings coming from the Queen's spirit a year after her death. Salome said Queen Elizabeth II holds deep concern for the future of Prince Harry's children, the Duke of Sussex, as they possess a singular potential to reshape the kingdom and redefine royal history. According to the Daily Star, the results support Athos's own prediction of Archie and Lilibet exerting an influence on the world, claiming it will be 7 years from now when the public will begin to see it. Salome added, despite their tender age, the children will soon begin to showcase the extent of their influence. It is speculated that from 2030 to 2031 and onward, a new chapter in their lives will unfold. And Salome also claimed that at the age of just 2, Prince Harry's daughter is bearing a resemblance to his mother, Princess Diana. Oh, to Harry's mother, whose death 26 years ago was marked a little more than a month ago. He said, Lilibet Diana Mountbatten Windsor embodies much of her grandmother, Lady Di's essence, and this inherent essence cannot be altered in order to preserve the element of surprise. He goes on to say, the seer last year claimed that a metaphorical bomb will appear in Harry's life after the coming summer, or in the coming summer, and the wheels could already have been set in motion in January. He added mysteries surround the life of the royal family, especially Harry's, between the years 2027 and 2028. You will understand another story becoming history. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, will also become history between the years 2025 and 2026. It's an interesting statement.
Yeah, but it's so broad in general. Like saying the two kids are going to be influenced. Like, yeah, they already are because they're royalty, and the royalty is hunted by the paparazzi and have so many followers. Like, they're going to be, he's not saying what they're going to influence to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And like all of his predictions are just general brushes, like, oh, Prince Charles or King Charles, you're going to have a problem in the summertime. A metaphoric bomb. Like, okay.
Yeah, but it's although they're generalizations, at least it's a more specific generalization than it could be.
I don't know. That's the influence thing. I don't get. I don't buy, because he's not saying what they're influencing. Are they influencing everyone to overthrow the king? Are they influencing everyone to go drink Mountain Dew? Or, like, what kind of influence are they doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, they're going to have influence. They already do. Look at the coronation. They focused on the kid the whole time. Yeah. You know what I mean? 'Cause he was so cute and playing with the crowd,
Yeah.
And then, of course, the granddaughter looks like her grandmother. They're related. There's genes there.
Yeah, but I mean,
my daughter at a certain age looked like my mother.
I could show you a picture here in a second, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Although Salome is famed for his predictions about the future, he believes that Princess Diana saw her death coming, and so the conspiracy theories will always exist, even with so many evidences. The death of Princess Diana 25 years ago stirs the imagination and emotions of people. Princess Diana knew she would die. That's what he claims. I'll show you the picture here, and you tell me. I'm going to blow this up here, and you tell me, do you think as a baby she resembles Princess Diana?
No.
Yeah, see, I
don't see it.
You don't see it? Let's see here. Do they have a picture of Diana in here? I don't see a picture of Diana that I can compare it to. I think it's hard to draw parallels here. Here's another picture of her and Harry together. I think she looks more like Meghan.
Yeah, Meghan for sure.
Yeah, I think she looks more like Meghan.
Yeah, I don't see it with Diana.
Yeah, so it is what it is, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah, so
I'm just not going to ever believe this guy. He's too general, too broad strokes.
Well, speaking of broad strokes, no, I'm kidding. A terrifying doomsday cult where children are forced to marry men twice their age has come up in the news.
Okay.
Yes, we're going on to cults. The cult is believed to have sprung up on a remote island, and the chilling tales from those who have escaped have prompted concern around the world. On a remote island in the Philippines, high up in the mountains and away from society, lies a hidden doomsday cult with over 1,000 children who many are believed to have been forced into marriage. The cult is known as the, this is a name, as the Socorro Bayanam Services, which is run by leader J. Renz B. Kilario, who believes he is Jesus reincarnated. Oh, aren't they all?
Oh, yeah, they all think that.
Yeah, of course.
Because my favorite thing that someone told me once is David Koresh thought he was Jesus, but he still needed glasses to see.
That's a good one. That's always a good one. And has been reported that he is referred to as the Messiah. His followers call themselves Soldiers of God. The organization has at least 3,500 members, including 1,580 children. In the recent weeks, it is believed that at least 8 children have managed to escape from the community. Now, the cult has caught the attention of the Filipino government, with some condemning the organization. 57-year-old Senator Rita, I believe this is Hontiveros, chairman of the Senate Committee on Women and Children, is one of the members who raised concern. According to Hontivero, the organization started to get off its feet following a series of earthquakes which hit Surigao del Norte in the Philippines as early as 2019. Kilario used this opportunity to lure people to join his group and be saved from the end of the world. In a speech, she declared that this is a harrowing story of rape, sexual violence, child abuse, forced marriage perpetrated on minors by a cult. The cult is armed and dangerous. We're talking about over 1,000 young people in the hands of a deceitful, cruel, and abusive cult. Real children are in danger, and time is of the essence. We must not look away, she added. She also claimed that Kilario would demand 60% of each member's pension and have smuggled drugs to earn more money. Some members have managed to escape and have relayed their harrowing tales inside the cult. One was a 15-year-old girl who used the pseudonym Chloe, who was allegedly locked up by Kilario in a room with her new husband and was forced to have sex with him. Wow. It is believed that Kilario says, quote, he has the right to rape her as they were married.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. She was
Nothing
only...
gives you that right, especially with a child.
Here's the kicker. She was only 13 and he was 21.
Yeah, nothing gives you that right. Not a thing.
Yeah. A member of the Cebu for Human Rights, NGOP, Ana Fiona L. Bojos, visited the region and testified that the children are under forced labor, having to haul sand and rocks. This will apparently be used to build a swimming pool and basketball court. Ms. Boho also alleged that if the children's work was not up to standard, they would be physically assaulted and in some cases sent to foxholes for days of solitary confinement. Ms. Boho says that children were also required to do masi masi every day. These are physical exercises where they jog with a heavy sack filled with rocks, undergo obstacle challenges, firearm and bladed weapons handling, learn martial arts, swim and crawl in the mud filled with waste and urine.
They're training them to be soldiers.
Yeah. Ms. Bohos in the Philippine Star newspaper said, although the cult said it was voluntary labor on their part, they were actually monitored and disciplined for failure to do work. Despite the story dominating the media in the Philippines, Socorro Bayanahan continues to deny all accusations, instead claiming that the children have been influenced to fabricate their stories. But as the cult gains more attention, former members have come forward to speak of the experience in the club. One is 28-year-old, I believe this is Carl, who used to be a member of the Aguila squad. This is apparently the armed wing of Socorro Bayanahan services. Interesting stuff.
It is. How come? So that would be Filipino government then that would have to shut that down, right?
It's the Philippines, yeah. It would be the Filipino government. And this is a look at the leader.
That looks like a very, very bad promo picture. Like he wanted to be a gangsta.
Yeah, yeah.
He got picked on a lot as a child.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that guy is a douche.
Yeah.
He looks like it too there.
He looks like a very young Kim Jong-un. Like
he does.
When he was a kid. Yeah.
Yep.
When Kim Jong-il was bringing up Kim Jong-un,
yep.
when he was just a child, he was dressing up in suits and he was serving behind his father. He looked exactly like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I bet you that he probably has higher ups in the cult that dress like that too, because he's grooming them.
Yeah.
Shut it down.
Disturbing is what it
Got to be shut down. Protect those children.
Yeah. Disturbing stuff. We have a story here about spiders falling, that's in quotes, from the sky in California. Locals report seeing webs with spiderlings floating in the air.
That'd be terrifying. You're just walking out to your car and, oh, look. Oh, wait. Oh, shit.
Are you one that's afraid? Are you afraid of spiders, or do you have
no, I'm not afraid of
them.
But when they're falling from the sky and there's multiple, then I tend to be like, okay, what's going on? And I tend to get scared.
I know some people that have arachnophobia that are deathly afraid of spiders that would absolutely just lose their mind if they saw
They're remaking that movie.
Are they remaking it?
Yep.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, I have my mother's that way.
Is she?
With spiders. Oh yeah.
See, I'm okay with spiders. They don't bother me. No.
Me either.
Yeah. I mean, they're a little creepy crawly but like I talk to them. I'm just like, not in this area, not today, buddy. Go away. You know.
You do your thing, I'll do my thing.
That's right.
I've held tarantulas and stuff. So
see, tarantulas bother me a little bit. Though that's getting into the creepy. You know, that's just you go along on your way, I'll go along on my territory. We're not good. Nary the two shall meet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I when I was younger, I had no qualms about killing them, and now I try not to.
Yeah, I try not to kill them either because they do so well.
Yeah.
For your house, so I'm like you do your thing, I'll do my thing.
Yeah, yeah. Although I've had one. Have you ever had this happen? You're in the shower and one jumps on the back of your neck.
Not on the back of my neck, no. But I've seen one in the shower.
Yeah, I've had it happen a couple of times where they jump on the back of your neck.
Ooh. No, sir.
Yeah,
that I wouldn't like.
I've had to grab them off the back of my neck and throw them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a creepy feeling. That's a creepy feeling.
It's got to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it may be sunny in California, but it's also raining spiders, it says here. Residents along the Central Coast are reportedly seeing webs with spiderlings from the skies. Several online videos show white structures are floating in the air and sticking to the ground in buildings. which one local likes spiderweb stuff that you buy at the Halloween store. Yeah.
Okay. But how is it? Yeah, this is where did it originate?
Right. While the incidents are bizarre, a biologist revealed that the webbing, in quotes, is silk baby spiders spin to migrate to new habitats. What they are is strands of silk that spiderlings, baby spiders, use to disperse. Fred Larrabee, an assistant professor of biology at San Jose State University, told the San Francisco Chronicle. To get away from where they're originally born, they spin these silk strands and they get caught by the wind, which pulls the spiders to a new place to live, to new habitats. So they're not competing with their siblings, which makes sense.
Yeah.
The reports are coming from San Francisco, San Jose, Danville, and Gilroy. One California resident shared a video on TikTok asking the public to help unravel the mystery for the failing webs. It's a sticky and silky and falling from the actual sky, she said in the video. She continued to explain that the webbing was all over the telephone poles. It's the weirdest thing, she said. Residents in the county of Monterey and the Monterey Peninsula Regional Park District also shared sightings of the mysterious webbing. One local told KION 56, which is a local news station, that it smelled of chemicals and when lit on fire, burst into a fireball and burnt like plastic. Well, it's a living spider. Hey,
there's something flying in the air. I'm going to light it on fire. What a pyro.
Yeah, really. Put your lighter back in your jacket there, pyro.
Yeah, it just went right up.
Jesus. California State University Monterey Bay professor John E. Banks, sounds like a fake name.
That sounds like a fake name.
Yeah. Told the outlet that people are witnessing, what they're witnessing is a process called ballooning. That doesn't sound right either.
No.
It all sounds like fake information. Banks said spiders will spin silk threads when they become frightened or run out of food, which then are caught in the wind and carried off to a new location. It's a special term we use for how spiders disperse from habitat to habitat, he said. Most spiders, as you imagine, have trouble walking along the ground and getting across barriers such as Highway 1 or some of the structures that we've built. He also said that it could be an evolutionary practice for spiders living in the areas where their food supply is uncertain, like farmland. So there you go.
Okay.
So there's some truth to Spider-Man swinging on a web around the city.
Yeah, that's how he gets around. That's how spiders get around.
That's right. One more story, and then we'll kick in with Ziggy's picks here. There's an alleged sea monster which shows up on Google Earth in Antarctica.
It shows up on Google Earth? That's awesome.
Yep. It shows up on Google Earth image in Antarctica. The creature, whatever it is, has sparked some heated debate online, with many dismissing the image as a hoax. Given how little we know about the depths of the ocean around Antarctica, it is not unreasonable to assume that it is home to species of animal that we currently know nothing about. Whether this recent photograph is evidence of this, however, remains a matter of debate. The image, which appears to have been tagged to a location on Google Earth, shows a group of people, possibly researchers, in a boat off an island in Antarctica. As the cameras pan around, however, the image of a large creature can clearly be seen in the water. While some users have hailed the picture as evidence of some sort of sea monster, what stands out straight away is the fact that the animal bears an uncanny resemblance to the Alaskan bullworm, which is a fictional creature found in episodes of the SpongeBob SquarePants cartoon. Yeah.
All right, we got SpongeBob.
That's right. It certainly looks like it's a little questionable, especially given the lack of any formal acknowledgement of the discovery from anyone in the boat, and the fact that it looks like it's been digitally added to the shot. There's actually a video that I'll show you here briefly, Bruiser, and you tell me if it looks like it's digitally added. You can give me tell me when you see the worm.
Yeah, that's digitally added. Oh, wait. Hold on, we're still looking for it. Oh, there it is.
You see it?
Yeah, it looks digitally added.
It looks digitally added? Okay. All right. Okay, so it's that time once again where we discuss a little football because we've got some psychic pups over at your place.
Yes, we do.
And it's time now for Ziggy's Picks. It was another wild and woolly week in the NFL, which means only one thing, Bruiser. It means that I tanked terribly this week.
Yeah, you didn't fare so well.
No, I didn't. I know that you did all right.
I did okay. I thought I tanked, but I did all right. No, and you know what it was? It was my teams in my heart tanked, but my picks didn't.
Yeah.
Because my team's the Packers, and I wanted them to win, but I chose the Raiders, and, you know, they won. So the Packers lost.
Yeah. See, it's one of those things where, you know, you can make your picks and think, well, you know, logically, on paper, this really should go this way.
Yeah.
You would think, just based on the way they performed this year, the way they stack up against this team, this really should be a slam dunk. Or not necessarily a slam dunk, but this is the way that this should go. This is the way this game should go. Yeah. And then you get to the actual game and you're like, what in the actual F is going on here?
Exactly.
You know?
Real life happens. Yep.
Mm-hmm. This week was one of those weeks.
Oh, definitely.
Where things didn't make sense. And it all started off Thursday night.
With probably the worst Thursday night football game they could have put on.
Oh, yeah. And God rest his soul, Dick Butkus passes away Thursday.
Yes. Very sad. I remember watching him as a kid.
And I don't know if it was a combination of that and the Bears were just so frustrated that they came out and just said, we need a team to just mow over. And the fact that the Commanders had a tough game against the Eagles the week before. And, you know, they went balls to the wall the week before and had nothing left in the tank. But they came out as flat as could be against the Bears, and the Bears just ran over them.
Destroyed them, which I didn't predict. I couldn't have. Yeah.
Nobody could have saw it. There was one guy who saw it.
Yeah?
The guy who does the news for Colin Cowherd predicted it. Huh? He said
he did. Okay.
He said the Commanders are going to come out flat in this game and the Bears are going to roll right over them.
Okay, well, good for him. He's the only person in the world that saw it.
And Colin thought he was nuts.
I did until the game.
Yeah, and I thought there's no way that would happen. Yeah. But sure enough, it did.
Yep.
Who knew? And it just got weirder from there. The fact that the Jacksonville Jaguars have a new home in England.
I was going to say, they're English now?
Yeah.
You have Trevor Lawrence throwing the ball as fast as any quarterback can possibly throw it.
Yeah.
No one can get to him. You're like, I picked the Bills because I was like, oh, Josh Allen, you know, Stephon Diggs. I didn't know that London loved Jacksonville so much.
Yeah.
And that they pumped him up to win the game.
The fact that if you'd have told me this 10 years ago, that Bill Belichick is not the coach you think he is.
Oh, yeah.
That
Saints game, I have the Saints defense on my fantasy league. And I chose to bench them because I'm like, oh, they're playing the Patriots. Patriots usually have a pretty good offense. I'm not going to score. I'll score points, but not that many.
Yeah.
So I ended up playing Kansas City's defense. Oh, they're playing the Vikings. Kirk Cousins throws picks all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I should have flipped it because that Saints defense scored 20 points, where Kansas City only scored like 7.
Yeah.
Because Kansas City decided, hey, we're just going to get a ton of penalties to be the best offensive player Minnesota has. You know, but who could have predicted that? Who could have seen that happen?
I think we'll get to the Minnesota-Kansas City game here in a minute. I want to save that for last. I got plenty of frustration there. The interesting thing about that is now you have. I'm trying to remember the name of the player that's coming out and he's actually speaking out about against Bill Belichick, talking about, hey, you know what? Maybe it was all smoke and mirrors all along. That maybe Tom Brady, you can still get Tom Brady back here into New England. He may be retired, but why doesn't Bob Kraft call him?
To come in and coach or something?
No, to quarterback.
Oh, gosh.
And that's not saying much for Mac Jones.
No. Who they were so high on last year in the draft. Yeah.
And Mac Jones is not a bad quarterback. He's just been put in bad systems.
Yeah.
Nobody's accounting for what he can do.
Right.
They're not tailoring things to what he can do. And that's just the way things are, you know? So that's essentially that. And then, of course, you've got teams that perform the way they're supposed to. The Lions came out, performed the way they're supposed to. The Dolphins came out, performed the way they're supposed to.
Right.
You know, I mean, just teams that came out and did what they were supposed to do. The 49ers came out and did what they were supposed to do.
Oh, yeah. The Cowboys didn't.
No, the Cowboys. Yeah, the Cowboys didn't come out and play the way they were supposed to. They folded. And then, okay, so yesterday, I looked like a fool because I said to you that honest to God, I said, what am I? You know, I'm a Minnesota kid, and here I am, the only one rooting for the Packers.
Yep.
Because I honestly thought Jordan Love had more to him.
Yep. And I said, I'm going to root for the Packers. I know the Raiders are going to win because Jordan Love isn't a seasoned vet yet. He can't lead the team. He needs help with that. In a couple of years, will he be that? Yeah. In a couple of years, will this team be good? Yes.
Okay.
But Bakatari, since we got him, is never healthy. All the receiving core is young. Love's young. Dylan's semi-young. Mm-hmm. You know. Mm-hmm. What's his face? The other running back is old. You know what I mean? The defense is just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I think that the Raiders they're not a great team, but they're a better team than the Packers.
Yeah.
You know, say what you will about Garoppolo, he's still a seasoned quarterback.
Yeah, but he's
not good. He's not great.
No, he's not.
But
great.
He's a seasoned quarterback.
No, but he finds a way to win, and that's what he's got going for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he finds a way to win, and I just didn't think that he could find a way to win against a team that this year has found ways to win.
Yeah, I knew it. I'm not trying to bash the Packers. They're my team, mm-hmm. You know, but they're just not. They're not seasoned enough yet. They're not, you know, 2 years. 2 years they'll be a dominant force.
I hear you. And then we get to my Minnesota Vikings.
My game of the week. Because I love Kansas City.
And the pregame shows made me cringe. Because they're like, oh, this Viking team, oh, you know, they may be 1-3, but you know, look out for them. It's a deceiving 1-3. No, it's not. It's not. They are who Denny Green said it. They are who we thought they were.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And on Sunday, they showed you who they were. They showed their ass to the entire country.
That they have to rely on defenses to get offensive yards.
Yeah. They first of all, they have no defense.
No.
The scheme is good. They're not.
No.
There's no talent on that side of the ball. There just isn't. They have two players on that side of the ball: Harrison Smith and Danielle Hunter.
And Harrison Smith was running around with a bag on his head on Sunday. He couldn't cover anything.
Well, he's trying to be the entire backfield.
He is. He's trying to cover everybody and not covering anyone at the same time.
Yeah. Well, when you're trying to cover for three other guys, what are you going to do?
Well, I get it, but
you know,
he didn't impress me.
No.
Two personal or pass interference calls.
Which you and I disagree on one, but it's you know,
yeah.
He got tackled on the one.
No, he didn't look behind him. If he would have looked behind him,
if he would have turned
been offensive pass interference.
If he would have just slightly turned his head, he would have got the call.
It would have been offensive pass interference.
Right, because he got tackled.
Because when the flag was thrown, if you watch it back, when the flag's thrown, he looks at the receiver looks at him, and they're both like, what? And they both turn and look at the referee at the same time.
Right,
like,
yeah.
Hey, we both just committed the penalty.
They both,
Which one are they calling on us?
Right, right.
And we talked about this off air yesterday, but I guys got to bring it up for our listeners. What's with your boy not being able to control a clock?
Okay.
Kirk Cousins is such a bad quarterback, he can't even complete a pass to the turf.
That's right. He can't. He can't manage. He can't manage a team. He can't manage the clock. By the way, does everybody see what I'm talking about now? He can't hit his ass with either hand when it comes to throwing a pass. Everything is high. Everything is outside. Everything is not in stride.
They got to put Mrs. Cousins out there.
That's right.
If you watch that quarterback show, it's her taking care of him minus the football stuff.
That's right.
Well, maybe she should take care of the football stuff too. Huh?
That's right. That's right. I'm telling you, Bruiser, and we have too many Kirk Cousins apologists in this state. Yeah. And they're all like, yeah, but look at his stats. Yeah, but he's this. Yeah, but he's that. Romo was apologizing for Cousins.
Oh, yeah.
In this game. The analysts at halftime back in the studio, well, he looks like a great quarterback to me. He does, because our prize wide receiver is sitting on the sideline with a hamstring injury.
Yep.
Why do you think he has a hamstring injury? Is it because he's jumping for every goddamn ball that's thrown to him?
100%.
I mean, he's out there doing Swan Lake trying to catch balls.
And then Hawkinson got hurt too, laying out for a ball.
Yeah.
Yep.
And everyone's blaming Hawkinson for not being able to catch the ball. Well, you know what? Nothing was hitting him between the 8 and the 7.
Nope. He had to leave his feet for all of them. And tight ends are not supposed to leave their feet.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
The only tight end who screwed up was Oliver. And that was on the first play of the game.
Yeah.
When he fumbled.
Yeah, I as a Kansas City fan, I was happy they were playing Minnesota because they made so many mistakes. If it was a better team, they would have lost. And they almost did lose. The only reason they won is because your boy there, Kirk old boy, doesn't know how to control a clock, and neither does the head coach.
They're both horrible. Kirk... as bad as Kirk is at clock management, he's looking at the sideline, and Kevin O'Connell is even worse. KOC is the worst.
We all know it's you fans. You guys are too loud.
Yes, we're way too loud. If we would just shut the F up.
Calm down.
Yeah. How dare we be so excited about our team?
Yeah, no, stop that.
Yeah. Jesus. None of these mistakes were being made last year.
No.
It's like a sophomore slump. I mean, KOC's having a sophomore slump. He's not thinking. And I know it's not a sophomore slump with Cousins. This is his 12th year in the league. He's just dumb as a box of rocks.
You guys were supposed to win the division this year.
Shit, that ain't happening.
Remember, it was supposed to be between you and Detroit.
No, I knew Detroit was winning the division this year.
We did, but it was supposed to be Detroit and Minnesota. Remember, that was the big thing. And now look where you guys are.
That's what people who weren't in the know knew. But we lost too many key players.
Yeah.
When we let our two best linebackers take a walk in free agency, that the defense was gutted.
Yeah.
Jordan Hicks is the only halfway decent linebacker we have, and even then, he's old and slow.
I was saying he's accident prone too, isn't he?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
But
injury prone,
Injury prone, yeah. And then you try to replace it with, and God love Ivan Pace. He's an undrafted rookie who's got plenty of get up and go, but he's undersized and he's not a great pass defender.
Yeah.
So he's going to get beat.
Yep.
You know, and you can have all the motor you want in this world, but you're eventually going to get beat, and you're going to get beat bad. And what was the thinking with Marcus Davenport? Really?
What do you mean?
Well, he was a bust with New Orleans. What was he going to do with us? He's been injured most of the year.
Yeah.
And, okay, he shows flashes every once in a while. But do you think he really dominated Kansas City's offensive line?
God, no.
Exactly.
Mahomes had all day. There was just 2 times where Mahomes really either the sack came because the offensive line made a mistake, which is rare, or he'd always get out of pocket away from you guys. You guys don't chase. You're bad at following.
Well, supposedly the Vikings are the team that has the highest blitz ratio in the league at something like that.
Yeah, you blitz 50% of the time.
Yeah, 57% of the time.
Yeah.
Can you tell?
Because Patrick Mahomes went, okay, blitz. Here, Kelsey, do this route. Touchdown.
Yeah. Watch this. Run 5 yards out and let me throw it to you and watch me laugh.
And he almost had another one, but he hurt his ankle. His ankle.
Yeah.
Kelsey, if he wouldn't have hurt his ankle, that would have been another touchdown.
The easiest way to beat the Minnesota Vikings, screen passes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Screen passes or little relief valve passes to your tight ends and running backs.
Yep.
And the minute they sit back on their heels, running game. You can run all day long on them.
Yep. That's what Kansas City did.
That's what Philly did.
Yep.
And they beat them by a ton. But I guess enough of football. Let's wrap this segment up and tell you that Ziggy this week was a big winner, 10-4. Actually, Talia came in at 9-5. It was close.
It was close, but yeah, Ziggy beat her.
Ziggy beat her, so 10-4. Ziggy's got the mojo back.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
She's excited. There's a couple picks she made. I was like, really? And then it panned out.
Bruiser was 9-5 this week, and your boy was as good as the Minnesota Vikings, 7-7.
Should I call you Kirk now or wait?
No, don't associate me with that POS. No.
Do you refuse to say his name? So like when people talk about Star Trek, you're like, yeah, the captain. The one that Shatner played, that captain.
I call him Kirko Fumbles. So I don't even address him by his real name. Yeah, I have.
When he makes his entrance, you get up and turn your back.
Yes, yeah. I have so many people that hit me up on Saturday and Sunday. Just, are you excited for the game? Are you excited for Kurt?
I watched our chat.
Yeah.
Darkness Radio chat, and they were going hard on you. Mm-hmm. Except for the one guy who had Madden. Vikings won that game. With a different quarterback, though.
Yeah. Yeah, with a different quarterback. Yeah, well, they know I don't like them. And with good reason. You saw it. You saw it on Sunday.
We should get him as a guest. It'll be great.
For what? So I can scream at him for an hour?
We talk about if he's ever had any experiences while on the road, and then it just turns into you going, okay, I can't do this anymore. You'd probably be like, your first question would be like, Kirk, you're on the road a lot. Any experiences in a hotel? And you go, well, actually, Tim, you're like, hold on. You suck. Then it would be 59 minutes of you lambasting him.
It's just one question for him. Did aliens abduct your brain? It's the only question I have for him.
Are you seeing spirits on the field? Is that who you're throwing it to?
Yeah, is that the ghost of Ahmad Rashad you're throwing to? He's not even dead!
Are you throwing to the ghost of Chris Carter? You know what? He's not dead either.
Good God. Who are you throwing to? We're not wearing that colored jersey this week, right?
This is what my wife said out.
Do you grease your palms before you play quarterback? Is that how you drop so many footballs? Stupid son of a bitch. Do you put horse blinders on your helmet? How is it you only see one goddamn receiver when you look down the field?
Thought we were done with football.
Yeah, no, we're done with football. We're done with football.
I didn't know bringing him up as a guest would send you on your,
oh my God,
your Louisville tirade.
Ah! Anywho, our last story for the day, Bruiser.
All right.
Has to do with bad relationships, which Kirk and I are in.
But he can't leave because he left CDs in your car.
That's right.
So he can't leave.
This one is just plain and simple one of those relationships. This
is what you and Kirk need to do, is basically right.
That's right. I have a feeling Kirk and I probably don't get along. We probably wouldn't get along. We're opposites. And sometimes opposites just don't attract. That's kind of a bullshit line.
Okay. Sometimes
when you have opposite likes and dislikes, you're not going to come together on things. It's just not going to happen. Can you truly save a marriage when your husband or wife says, you know what? I don't like your spooky shows.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now you don't have that problem with Mrs. Bruiser.
If I'm in the middle of one of them, she'll let me finish it. But if she won't sit down, like, I shouldn't say spooky because we watch spooky shows together.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there's some she doesn't like, and some she thinks are too cheesy, and some she's like, oh, this is real good. So
yeah, but
yeah, I don't have that problem. You're right.
yeah, right. And if there's some give and take there. But if you can imagine having a relationship with someone who would say, no, you know what? None at all whatsoever. You're done.
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
Hit the bricks.
Yep. Well, a woman has asked her husband not to watch horror shows while she's there, and now people are divided over what.
Okay, while she's there, I understand that. He could watch them when she goes to bed or when she's at work and he's home alone or whatever. That's okay.
Okay. One woman was adamant her husband was in the wrong for watching these programs that she didn't like, but her post has gained a mixed response, leaving her unsure if her reaction is justified. Let me tell you a little bit about it.
Yeah.
And then we'll see where we're at after I've read this. It's one of life's mundane tasks, deciding what to watch on TV after a long day at work. It can often cause a divide between couples, especially if one person has a preference on what they want to watch. One woman has revealed this divide between herself and her husband as she explained how her other half enjoys watching programs with gruesome and violent scenes, topics which she hates, and has even asked her husband not to watch while she's at home. However, the situation has left people divided. Sharing her dilemma to, I believe it's Mumsnet, the woman explained that there is only one television in her house and that she isn't generally bothered about what is on it. Okay? So not bad to start, okay?
Yeah.
She added that her husband typically gets to watch all the sports that he wants, as well as nature programs and documentaries. However, there's one genre which is causing conflict. That's horror.
Oh, okay.
Okay. In her post, she said, he also watches a load of violent stuff, which I hate. She says, I know it's on TV, so maybe it's not that bad, but by most people's standards, it's probably stuff rated 18. They're over in England, Sons of Anarchy, for example. I hate it, she says. I really hate the violence. People screaming, getting beaten up, tortured, shot. I think my tolerance for it is very low. She asked whether she was being unreasonable, asking her husband not to watch these types of programs when she is there. She explained she works one weekend night and 2 nights during the week, giving him plenty of time to watch any gruesome shows that he'd like when she's away. Finishing her post, she added, I just walked into someone being tortured and then buried alive. I don't even know what the show is. I asked him to turn it off, and he won't, so I've gone back upstairs. However, other users are divided by her demand. One user said, "No, I wouldn't turn the TV off if my partner didn't like what I was watching. How odd." Another said, "Surely it should be more compromise and consideration of the other person in the room." A third added, "Telling someone you can't watch this and you can only watch it on Sunday is controlling." Now, let me throw it to you, Bruiser. Knowing what you know of this situation, what do you think is fair for both parties?
I think she works those 3 or 4 nights. Those are the nights that he watches those shows. I also think, though, that if she comes home from work and he's in the middle of one of those shows, let him finish the show. Don't tell him to turn it off. Go do what you can do for half hour. You know what I mean? An hour. Go do what you got to do, then come back. And then for him, don't start a new episode or whatever you're watching. You know, be reasonable. If it's a movie and you're 15 minutes into a 2.5 hour movie, shut it off. You know, compromise. And then during the week, when she's there, okay, you watch all your other stuff. You just set those aside. Because now everything's streaming. Everything can be DVR'd. You know what I mean?
Well, no, they have one TV in the house.
Right, which is fine. Like I said, when she goes to work and stuff, you know, that's plenty of time to watch TV.
Yeah.
Watch those shows. She's not saying you can't watch anything. You know, she's not saying I want control of the TV. She's just saying don't watch these shows while I'm there.
Yeah, yeah. I
think they need to buy another TV too.
Well, I know it's probably not an option. That's the thing. But either a TV or an iPad. You know,
Yes.
if you've got streaming options,
Yep.
and you can buy an iPad and you're doing things off of streaming apps, it might be better for either one of them to be able to watch from the bedroom. I know it's not good for the relationship because you'd like to be able to watch TV together.
But it's not every night. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
And that's where working in a relationship comes in. You have to take notice, like, oh, we haven't sat in the same room in the last 3 days. Hey, honey, let's watch a movie together.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where work in the relationship comes in.
But she needs her time to watch her shows, and maybe they're not shows that you want to watch.
And she can do that when he's at work.
Yeah.
So it sounds like they work opposite schedules.
They might, but if he's home at night when she's at home, there may be times that, you know, she needs her own time to watch her own shows, and she deserves that. That's her right.
Yes, exactly.
So she needs her time too. And it doesn't sound like, from what I just read, that she gets that time.
No, it sounds like it's all his.
Right.
She worded it as he has control of the remote. And
Right.
we watch what he wants to watch.
That's not completely right either.
No.
So,
No,
I mean,
I've watched shows that Mrs. Bruiser's wanted to watch, and I never was interested in them, and I became interested as I watched it.
yeah.
And then there's stuff, too, that she watches that I'm just like, okay, I'm going to go play video games, or I'm going to go over here.
Yeah.
And then there's shows where I ask her, hey, watch that when I'm, when I'm at training,
Yep. Yeah. So, and like you said, a second TV is always, or a second screen is always a godsend, because you don't want to watch it, that's fine. Now, you can go to another room. If you can't afford the
TV, like you said, an iPad.
Yeah, an iPad or something like that, where you can, peek in on a second screen. You don't have to bother the other person.
And you can be in the same room too if you want.
Yeah,
like you said, you put headphones on.
Yep, and you can be in that person's company. You're just not watching the same screen. So
exactly.
Yeah. It's not the end of the world. You don't have to fight over it. But
it doesn't have to be the end of a relationship either. There's so much other things out there that ruin relationships. Don't let this. Yeah. It's compromise. It's work. This is working on your relationship.
Yeah, exactly. So, there's so many things that get taken online that shouldn't be taken online either. This is one of those things that just shouldn't be taken online.
Yeah.
At least that's what I think. Yeah. It's just something that can be talked out between two people.
Yeah, you don't need to post a poll.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what should I do?
Yeah, because
I hate when people do that.
Yeah.
This is what's going on. Should I compromise? You're an adult. You make your own decisions.
Right.
Talk to your significant other. Don't post it online.
Right. Exactly. Well, we're getting deeper into October, folks, and we're getting closer and closer to Halloween. There's lots of good stuff happening out there. There's the haunted houses are in full swing, and you've got mazes out there, corn mazes and things like that. What do you got going on this weekend, Bruiser?
Actually, nothing. Sitting at home and relaxing. We're gonna do some yard work, and probably pick up some Halloween decorations, some pumpkins and whatnot.
You had a story for me today.
I did?
Yeah. Do you remember what it was?
I don't remember.
I know. I was going to tell you about Spud. I had a story about Spud. Did you say you had a story about one of the dogs?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
So I'll tell you this quick story about Spud. I was coming out of the house the other day, this past weekend actually, and it's gotten really chilly here. I mean, extremely chilly. Last week it was 80, okay? And we went from 80 to 50, like mid 50s, like that. It just boom, turned right around, right?
Yeah.
And it's a shock to my system. But it's I don't know if it's a shock to their system. I don't get that impression. But they're starting to make quicker trips and staying in their dens a lot more. You know, like I'm not going out there. It's too cold. But when they come out, they're gathering up seeds very quickly and going back. You know, they're not staying outside as long. Yeah. But what I'll do is I'll go into the garage and I'll yell at Spud because he goes and he hangs out, you know, by my car or under my car. And he takes a nap under my car during the day. And I'll yell at Spud. I'll say, especially if I put fresh seeds out or if I put treats out, and I'll say, "Hey, Spud, fresh seeds." You know, I sound like a vendor at a ball game. I'll yell, "Hey, Spud, fresh seeds." You know, fresh seeds and fresh treats. I put fresh seeds and fresh treats out. Go out and get them. And I yell it to him, and I see him start running from underneath the car out to the outside. Which is the cutest thing ever, that you can call him and he'll go run outside. Yeah. And he knows that there's fresh stuff out there. So I go around, and I don't know why I'm so enamored with this, but I go around to the front door and I grab it's a few minutes later. So it's not quite, you know, right away. But I grab a cup of tea and I grab fruit and I grab my iPad and I grab some other things because I'm going to work outside for a little bit, and I'm all bundled up. And as I come out the front door, here's Spud standing on the front step. And he stops right in the middle of what he's doing, and he stands up on two haunches, on his 2 feet, and he looks at me, and you know the little gopher in Caddyshack?
Oh, yeah.
He starts moving back and forth like the gopher from Caddyshack. So he's got his little hands up and he's moving his head back and forth and he's looking at me and he's studying me, right? Yeah. And I thought he was going to start singing that Kenny Loggins song.
I'm all right.
Yeah. Right? And I'm like, and he's looking at me standing in the doorway. And the only thing I'm thinking that he's thinking is, oh my God, you live in that big den? Like, I wonder what's in that thing. Yeah. You know, and what do you got in your hands? Was that all in that big den? And is that all for me? And like, you know, like he's looking at this stuff like, you know, holy shit, if I broke into that place, could I get all that? You know, like you just see the wheels turning, right? Yeah. Like it's the first time he really discovered that I live in that place. You know?
All the treats come from inside.
That's right. All the treats come from in there. Like he's finally putting it together, right? Yeah. But he's kind of doing the little dance as he's looking at me.
And maybe he's hyping himself up like, I can do this. I can get in there. I can do this.
I don't know. But then he kind of looked at me and I got a little half chirp out of him. And then as he's looking at me and he's all happy and I go, "You want a blueberry?" And he kind of looks at me and I bowled a perfect strike. I bent over and I rolled him a blueberry and he stopped it with his paws and he picked it up and he put it in his mouth and he ran around the porch and he ate it.
Nice.
It was like the perfect ending to that little sequence. Yeah. I just thought this is a perfect day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're happy. You're done. Day's over.
I'm done. Day's over. Well, I had a lot more to my day, but in that, it was kind of cool. But he was just kind of doing that little whatever dance that gopher does from Caddyshack, and I was like, that's kind of cool. But at the same time, I'm thinking, this little fucker's trying to rob me. I don't know, but I just imagine he was thinking, whoa, you live in that big den. I don't know. It was just kind of a weird little, encounter with the chipmunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fun encounter.
Yeah. It's only about 2 weeks now until they go into torpor and they go to bed. So, yeah. It's going to be sad when they go to bed, but it's just what it is.
Then you have something to look forward to.
Yeah. Spud stayed out until Halloween last year, so I'm hoping he can hold out. But it's getting chilly here. It's supposed to be a warmer winter this year, but...
They still... No. They still got to go.
The last... I think I said it last year on the show. The last day that Spud stayed out, it's like he knew, and he hung around Yoko and I. We stayed out on the porch all day, and all he did was just hang around us. He just stayed up on the porch all day. He didn't gather seeds. He just ate treats, and he sat by us, and he kind of played a little bit, and he just sat and looked at us. And when it was time to go, he just went, and we didn't see him again until the spring.
So he knew he was going to bed. He knew, like, okay, I'll see you in a couple of months.
So he's just like, I'm spending time with you. This is just me saying goodbye.
Yeah.
And then
That's cool.
He went to sleep. And so it was really cool.
Maybe he'll do it again this year. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be. And it's kind of sad because, they only live in captivity about 4 to 5 years, but that's longer than they would live if they were out in the wild. And when they're out in the wild, they only live about 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, because of predators and just natural.
Yeah. So they're more protected when you're feeding them and looking after them, and they've got that safety net there. So. Yeah. They actually double their lifespan when you're looking after them. So,
well, that's cool.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to the little bit of time I got left with them, and it's been a fun summer. So
that's good. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. So folks, with that, tomorrow's show. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's show. We're gonna have a good show tomorrow. We're talking UFOs and abduction, Bruiser.
Some probing,
some seeds. No, that didn't sound right. Actually, we're talking some serious stuff here. Karen Wilkinson is our guest. UFO and abduction, the author of Stolen Seed, Evil Harvest. Karen Wilkinson's not only going to talk about the chronicle of her life experiences, but also will provide her insight into the activities and motives of extraterrestrial beings. She'll delve into the reasons behind their actions, the challenges they encounter, and the intricate web of deceit they weave in their interactions with humanity. Some heavy stuff. Very heavy. Yeah, it's going to be a serious show tomorrow. I will kind of give you a little bit of a warning about tomorrow's show. If you're easily triggered by some of this stuff, if you have been a victim of abduction, you may be easily triggered by tomorrow's show. So just a little bit of a forewarning about tomorrow's show. So there you go.
Perfect.
All right. So you got nothing going on this weekend except for, are you training the youth?
Training, amlwrestling.com/training. Come check it out. Other than that, just playing Trophy Husband.
And folks, we are working as hard as we can to get you a brand new Darkness Radio shirt out, but we'll have that out here shortly. So, and when we do, we will shout it out to the mountaintop so you'll know how to get it. It will probably have something to do with darknessradioshow.com with a link there, as well as other things. Keep an eye out on darknessradioshow.com, not only for Ziggy's picks for the sub-site there, but also on our shop. We'll have some different things coming to the shop here in just a bit that you can pick up. Some really cool stuff. So keep an eye on that. Let's see. Also, visit our sponsors.
Yes.
Yeah, be sure to visit our sponsors. They put their money where their mouth is so that we can continue to bring you this show. So we'd appreciate it if you do that as well. That's going to do it for today. For Beer City Bruiser, I'm Tim Dennis. Thank you so much for joining us today for Supernatural News and Parashare. Again, send your stories in tim@darknessradio.com or your voice notes to darknessradioshow.com. We'll see you tomorrow for UFOs and abductions right here on the best in paranormal podcasting. This is Darkness Radio.